So it's about 2 p.m. here in Florida, and Hurricane Helene has... My eyes are up here.
Biden-Harris administration says FEMA does not have enough funds to make it through hurricane season following the allocation of billions in foreign aid. Okay. This is who y'all want to vote for? Remember, I know it's hard for you liberal content creators to remember that there's also liberal people that live in the states that you're so happy got destroyed. I was just there. There were liberals there. Okay? We were giving them food, water, supplies, etc. This is your girl. This is your grandpapa. They got no more money. But I guarantee if you hop that wall, honey, and you come here, they're going to give you a $5,000 Visa card, put you in a hotel, and give you a cell phone and all the shit you want. $750 fucking dollars. These people have no homes. Mind you, there's still people from Ian, Katrina, Sandy that still don't have homes. $750. Now there's no aid. But I'm sure Zelensky and his boat and his cars and all his fucking lifestyle, I'm sure he's got money though. And I know damn well Kamala Harris has got money. The fuck out of here.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like. And you can apply now for anyone who's watching this who has been affected.
North Carolina is underwater, 1,000 people missing. While Pinellas County, we had 11 deaths, and we have a majority of our residents that aren't going to be able to come back to their homes because they're completely destroyed. You have Mayorkas, the Biden-Harris administration, and radical leftists in Washington, mostly in the Democrat Party, gave illegals $1.1 billion in housing assistance. People that never paid into the system. Mind you, they wouldn't have been here in the first place if they weren't campaigning on open borders, but that's a separate video. You should be pissed. And if you think as a legislator, I'm not pissed, and I don't see the games that happen in Washington hoping that you're not paying attention, because that's how it goes up there, is they hope the American people are too busy working to pay attention to the crap that they're doing. I'm telling you, you need to get out and vote, because this is not going to stop. It's just going to continue with the inflation, with the border security issues, and now we have Americans that are literally dying, not being able to get assistance, and the administration says, it's okay, we'll give you $750. Meanwhile, they said our tax dollars overseas to fund countries that don't need it, and they give it to illegal immigrants.
Fed says there's no money left to respond to hurricanes after FEMA used $640 million this year on migrants. According to the Homeland Security Secretary, FEMA drained all of the department's resources on addressing the migrant crisis this year, and if there is another hurricane this season, they literally do not have the funds to address it. To put that in perspective, the DHS has allocated $780 million to the migrant crisis. Meanwhile, only $4 million to the victims of Hurricane Helene. This is North Carolina right now. This is the reality for countless Americans who just lost their homes, who just lost family members, whose lives are completely changed forever, and our government just told them, sorry, we can't help. We spent your tax dollars on free phones, free hotel rooms, and free EBT cards for illegal aliens. I used to think our leaders didn't care about us, but when I see stuff like this, I think it's a lot more accurate to say our leaders hate us. This is a national disgrace, and we need to hold people accountable.
Elections have consequences, right? And this is what happens if Kamala Harris becomes a president. They have unveiled their tax plan of how much money they're going to take from you, and it's going to go to the U.S. government. By the way, when you hear this tax plan, the constant narrative you hear is the wealthy don't pay their fair share in taxes, right? It's the poor that pay the taxes, but not the wealthy.
Watch the light bulb go on over Kamala Harris's head when she realizes she has no damn plan for if there's divided government and she can't shove through her agenda. Watch.
Expanding that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share.
She's an idiot. She's an idiot. She has no idea what she's talking about. I don't know if she understood the question. The question is, what if you cannot get this through in a divided government so that corporations pay more? And the answer is, they just have to pay more. They have to. That's just it. That is just it. She sounds like one of those moronic TikTokers you see. That's just it. She sounds like a 4-year-old. That's her level of understanding. Don't believe any of these promises. She can't do it.
Watch this. Bottom 50% of taxpayers in America versus the top 50%. What percentage of all the taxes in the U.S. do you think the bottom 50% pay? You ready? 2.3%. You know what the top 50% pays? 97.7%. Now, you may say you're a Kamala person. You may say, well, Pat, how about the top 1%? It's the top 1% that's not paying any of the taxes. Really? Here's a chart for you. The top 1% pays 42.3% of all the taxes the government gets. So what the hell is this narrative about the fact that rich people don't pay their taxes?
Why does the Biden-Harris administration always seem to help American taxpayers last?
We've also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household to folks who've been displaced.
FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the
I do want to ask you if you feel you have the resources you need right now.
We most certainly do, and we are dedicating those resources. We do not have the funds to make it through the season.
I said FEMA's got no money to help anybody in our country.
The Biden-Harris administration spent over $1 billion from a FEMA program on services for migrants.
The city is expanding its debit card program for migrant families.
This will be the new first destination for the single male migrants, complete with phones, laundry service, even Xboxes.
Millions of dollars not going toward Americans, but going toward processing people who are in this country illegally.
Proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package.
It is $2.6 billion for FY23, $3.6 billion.
An additional $800 million in assistance.
$61 billion military aid package for Ukraine.
The failure of the United States Congress not to support Ukraine is close to criminal neglect.
Sean, this is the gravest betrayal of American citizens this country has ever seen. The reason why those Americans in North Carolina, those mothers, those fathers, those precious little children, were left to die, were left on rooftops begging their government for help that never came, is because Kamala Harris turned FEMA into an illegal alien resettlement agency. Its manpower, its dollars, its resources, its mental energy was spent over the last 4 years learning how to do one thing, how to get illegal aliens from outside the country into your town. And so when disaster struck, they were not ready, they were not prepared, they were not capable, and they did not care. And our fellow citizens, including babies, children, young kids, were left to suffer and drown. They did not scramble the helicopters. They did not scramble the military. They did not send needed assistance. But if those children had been living in a foreign country, they've been living in Haiti, or they've been living in Venezuela, why then Kamala Harris would have sent in help immediately. A betrayal like we've never seen before, Sean. This is infuriating.
Look, if this isn't any sign or any indication that your choice for Kamala Harris is a bad idea, I don't know what else to fucking show you. Everybody's hatred for Trump is very superficial. There's nothing that you can point out that he did over his 4 years. Over his 4 years that he's done that make you say, I'm never voting for that man again. But then we look at the last 3.5, 4 years that we've seen with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. There's every reason not to vote for them again. there's every reason not to vote for Kamala Harris again.
No mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country.
Kamala Harris questioned my loyalty to this country. And I'd like to ask the Vice President, what has she done to question my loyalty to this country? I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country. I built a business for this country. My running mate took a bullet for this country. So my question to Kamala Harris is, what the hell have you done to question our loyalty to the United States of America?
Did you vote? Are you gonna vote? Oh, will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me? Thank you.
When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America.
Everything is like twice the price it used to be. I literally cannot afford groceries.
Right, but did I mention I was raised in a middle-class family?
Inflation is literally unbearable. I'm literally so hungry.
But I have celebrity endorsements from Taylor Swift and Oprah.
But they're billionaires.
Did I mention I was raised in a middle-class family?
It's your boy King Churro. Thank you for watching. Remember that you're loved, and remember to be great every day, because tomorrow's never promised. You know that, and I know that. Make good choices, y'all.
Every day you wake up, you got a decision to make. To go right or left, up or down, right or wrong. At the end of the day, you make the decision. Nobody forces you. So make the right decision. Make moves, set the goals. Stop making excuses, man. And if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, and sound like a duck, it's a duck. Stop guessing. Just do the right thing. You heard? You hear me? I love y'all. Stay positive. Love one another.
All right. So one thing I hate is when people assume that Kamala Harris is half black because her father's from Jamaica. The thing about Jamaica is it's a lot like America, where no matter where you're from, you come to America, you migrate to America, you establish several generations in America. You're American, right? No matter if you're from Mexico, you're from Philippines, wherever, right? You're still American. Jamaica is the same thing. You have a lot of people that migrated to Jamaica. For instance, there's a lot of white Jamaicans. Yes, there are a lot of black Jamaicans. Predominantly, they're black. They're from Africa, right? Their roots come from Africa. Bob Marley was black and white. His daddy was white, right? You got other people like Sean Paul. Sean Paul, some me cosa then. Sean Paul is actually, his mom is white English, right? So UK. And she's also Chinese. And then his dad is actually Portuguese. So he's actually Portuguese, white, and Chinese. But he was born and raised in Jamaica. So to assume that Kamala Harris is half black because her dad's from Jamaica is totally wrong. And yeah, she has a little tinge of dark. I mean, I get mistaken for black all the time. Clearly, I do not look black, guys. I do not look black. But, you know, to the untrained white eye, that's what happens.
If you have a brown mom and a white dad, what the do you look like?
Okay, Indian dad and white mom, but let us show you. Okay, this is option 1. Option 2. Option 3.
Option 4.
And option 4.